Hey everyone, Sarah Pearl here. I got another podcast episode for you guys. I'm super excited about talking about it. But before I dive into it, make sure you're following me on YouTube, Supreme by Sarah Pearl. You can subscribe to my channel. You'll be able to have the video versions of my podcast. So if you're more of a video person, then that will serve you. If you haven't already visited my website, supremebysarahpearl.com, please do that. And then also my Facebook page, Supreme by Sarah Pearl, and Instagram, Sarah Pearl Thomas. You can also follow me on TikTok. Yes, your girl got on TikTok, and you can follow me there, Sarah Pearl Thomas. So yeah, I'm really excited to get into this topic. For all of my new listeners, Supreme by Sarah Pearl is, it is created and all about helping you tap into your maximum potential. And the way that we do that is through this podcast is to bring up topics that you may not understand or may not have a healthy perspective on. And so with my experience in life, I'm going to offer you my perspective. Okay, I'm going to offer you my perspective so to help you shape your perspective based off your situation. Okay, offer you a new perspective and a fresh perspective. I am Sarah Pearl. I'm your host for the Supreme by Sarah Pearl podcast. And so today I'm going to be short and sweet. I really want to I want to touch on the topic of reciprocity and how that applies to relationships. Okay, because growing up, I grew up in a Baptist Christian household. Okay, and I'm so grateful. It laid my foundations of my entire life. And so growing up, I always was taught you should give, and not really, you should expect something in return when you do give, right? And that is so true. Like when you give to, like, let's just say you give to someone who needs money, you give to that person not with the expectations of them giving it to you back, right? And if you do, talk to me offline. I need to talk to you. But when you give money, let's just say to someone who finds himself in a hard time, maybe they're having to stay in homeless shelters and things like that. When you give money to someone like that, or someone in that situation, then you shouldn't expect them to like call you up 2 months later and give you $50, right? You should give out of the kindness of your heart, correct? And I'm sure everyone can agree with that because that's a sign of someone with a great character, someone that has strong values and principles. Now, the issue with reciprocity the issue with that, okay, is when it starts trickling into other areas of your life. In this case, what we're going to talk about is in relationships. So what I'm realizing, and I've had conversations with like my sisters. I have two older sisters who are awesome. I have some great friends, and we talk a lot about relationships. We talk a lot about how we give so much to someone in a relationship, and we find ourselves depleted at the end of it because we were never getting fed in return. Okay, now the law of reciprocity, if this is the first time you've heard this word, let me give you the definition. So it's the practice of exchanging things with others for mutual benefits. Okay, so like I said, when I was growing up, I learned to give, and never ask for anything in return. But in a relationship, you should expect something back in return. So if you're in a relationship, right, and it's not giving you it's not giving what it's supposed to give. If it's not giving you what you're giving, if it's not reciprocating the energy that you're putting into it, then it's a sign that you're probably in a relationship that's not necessarily benefiting you and going anywhere and helping you get towards the things that you want to achieve in life. Because since we're here, right, about helping you reach your potential and you reaching your goals and things like that, a lot of the times, most of the time, your association depends on your success. Okay, the people around you, your circle. And so that's why this is important. If you are not around people that can reciprocate your energy, then your success will be severely stunted. Okay, and you will find yourself asking like, why? Because like I'm giving here, I'm giving there, I'm giving like everything that I have, and your relationships are in shambles because they're not giving what you are giving. not necessarily what you're giving, but they're not reciprocating the energy. So for instance, when I was in college, I had, different relationships, and I dated guys. And here's the thing, and me and my sisters, we joke about this all the time. When you date a Thomas sister, um, we know that you're getting top notch, because we give you, we go all in a relationship. But here's the thing, when I went into a relationship, a lot of the times I was the one with the most to lose. I was the one that had the most going on. Okay. But with my natural tendencies of like empowering people, what I would do is like I would get in a relationship with this guy. I would see his potential, because I see potential in literally everyone. I would see his potential, and I would try to cultivate him into that potential. Right? I would try to pull him up and get him to where I knew he could be. And listen, I know one sister in particular that's listening to this. I already know she said, amen. But here's the thing. In those relationships, at the end of them, I was depleted. I was like my self-confidence was down. I was insecure. I was low energy. There was nothing left for me to give to anyone. Right? That's not what a relationship is. A healthy relationship. I even found myself in friendships like that. Okay, that's not what a healthy relationship is, and that's not how God intended a relationship to be. Okay, even with God, like when He loves someone, and you say you love God, you don't go out doing crazy stuff. You reciprocate with God. Even when God says He loves you unconditionally, He does. But there's parameters around His love. There's parameters around you benefiting from the love that God gives. If you don't meet those parameters, or if you don't stay within those parameters, then you're not going to benefit from God's love, like His protection, His grace, His mercy. Yeah, even God has parameters. Okay, so sis, you got to get some parameters, bro. You got to get some parameters, some guards, right, against the people out here, the energies out here that literally do not have your best interest in mind. Okay, so I was telling you guys a little bit about my relationships with guys in college and whatnot. That was my experience. I would try to build these guys up, and then I will be left depleted, just no energy. Okay, but I don't know if you guys remember biology class, where you learned a little bit about a symbiotic relationship versus a parasitic relationship. But basically, a parasitic relationship is where you have a host and you have a parasite that attaches itself to the host, and the parasite sucks the nutrients from the host, and it sucks this nutrients, the blood, energy, all of that from the host, until the host is no longer able to provide that to the parasite. And so the parasite detaches itself from the host and goes and finds another host to do that with, so that it can survive. Okay, so what I want you to do, because you don't want a parasitic relationship. Okay, what does a parasitic relationship look like? Where do I even begin? So maybe you'll at the drop of a dime, you'll put everything aside to go help this person out. But when it's time for you to be helped, they're nowhere to be seen. Or you'll help this person. Y'all, I'm giving y'all literal experiences I've had without giving you too much detail to protect the identities of those. But I mean, you may financially, like you could help them out financially, but when it's time for you to be helped out financially, they don't help you out. Or as a confidant, you're there for them when they need to talk, but when it's time for you to vent and to get advice and all that, they're nowhere to be found. Those are signs of a parasitic relationship. And if you're in one of those, then very likely they're a weight in your life. Not they, but the relationship. Because the person, they could change. They probably have their own little issues going on where they can't reciprocate the way that they need to in order to be in a healthy relationship. But as far as you and your health and your goals, You have to be able to set boundaries around that so that you can go out and do the things that you really want to do and not be depleted. You need to surround yourself with people that can fill you with energy, that can give you what you need to make it to the next step of your life. Okay? And that's the point that I'm wanting to make. So what I want you to do after listening to this is do a quick analysis of your relationships. Okay, which relationships are healthy, and that they give to you, you give to them. Y'all aren't keeping tally or record of who did what, who got lunch this day, so who owes me this, and who, like, you're not doing that with each other, but you have a healthy relationship with each other. Okay, and who are those that you feel like you're in constant competition with, on like, well, I did this favor for you the other day, so you should be able to do this for me, or like whatever. You if The thing is, the reason I say that you should go through your friends and see who you're in a relationship with like that. The reason I say that is because there should be a natural flow of give and take in a relationship, whether that's a significant other, a friend, family, like whatever. You should be in a natural flow of that, where you don't have to like keep track of like who did what, when, where, and what I owe and all that. It should just be like a natural flow of it. But if you find yourself having to keep mental note of it, the chances are you're not getting what you need from the relationship in the first place. Okay, and I'm sorry if I'm coming off a little brash, but I'm saying this from experience. I mean, from dating to friends to family. Like, you have, and here's the thing: you have to be able to, self confidence wise. Okay, you have to be able to say, I'm setting this like I'm setting this boundary with you, and you should be able to recognize like I deserve more than that. Okay, and you should be able to recognize I deserve to be in a healthy relationship where I do receive the same. I do receive the energy that I give out. You should be. That's the goal of this entire journey. It's all centered in self, self awareness, self love, self acceptance. If you don't have those things, then setting boundaries, understanding the law of reciprocity, all of that will be tough for you because you don't think you deserve it in the first place, right? So that's the reason why I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about it today, because that was a key aspect of my growth journey. I'm 30. I'm not it's not like I'm just, old as Methuselah and I've gained all this wisdom through, years and years and years and years and years of heartbreak and turmoil and things like that. But it's 30 years of learning who Sarah Thomas is, refining who Sarah Thomas is, being honest with who I am, building up my self confidence to say, I don't deserve that. I do deserve that. And literally customizing customizing my circle with people that I think, that I feel are giving me the things that I need to move to the next level. Even with marriage, if you're in a marriage and there's no reciprocity in the marriage, chances are you have someone who's super like fulfilled and they're good, and someone who's starving spiritually, mentally, physically. Chances are that's the dynamic of that type of relationship. So go through your friends and just say, okay, who do I need? Like, who is a healthy relationship, who's not? Okay, and just go through those and go through it and think about some of the things that I've talked about in this podcast, and see how you can make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people who are for you, and who are in a place you're in a place where you're like, your energy is reciprocated with people that can reciprocate your energy. Okay, so that's all I got for you guys today. I love y'all. And again, if you need anything, if there's a topic maybe that you want my perspective on, feel free to reach out to me. You can even email me, supremebysarahpearl@gmail.com. Or you can reach out to me on any of the social media platforms that we talked about. But I love you guys, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and a great week. Hold it down, guys. Bye.